Welcome to the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. I'm Kate Grosvenor, your friendly perimenopause expert and life coach.
And I'm Gabriella, Kate's daughter, representing all the women who are nowhere near perimenopause but want to understand it better.
Whether you're just starting your perimenopause journey, deep into it, or you're a loved one trying to support someone who is, we've got you covered.
We'll be answering all of your burning questions, exploring the ups and downs, and sharing expert advice and personal insights.
So grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's dive into the wonderful, sometimes wild, world of perimenopause together.
And remember, no matter where you are on your journey, you are not alone.
Welcome to the Uncomplicated Perimenopause. Hello, my darlings, and welcome to episode 8 of season 2 of the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. Living out of breath. My name is Kate Grosvenor. I'm a perimenopause expert and life coach.
And I'm Gabriella Grosvenor, Kate's daughter, here to learn with you all.
And we're just hoping that you don't develop a very strange lisp halfway through.
I was just going to say I am lisping a little bit.
So we're recording it later on in the week this week because you've had a very severe tooth infection.
Yes, and my wisdom tooth.
Sad face.
Lacking wisdom. I've already removed 2.
So you're going to be a bit like, by the end of the week.
I don't know how I'm going to carry on the rest of my life.
No wisdom teeth at all.
Yeah.
But fortunately, it has nothing to do with it, so we're all okay.
Yeah.
Mind you, in this cold, though, I think we all turn a bit lacking.
But yeah. It's
January's not doing
January's
it for me.
Hard. Everyone knows everyone's broke in January, like recovering from Christmas. And
I'm not broke, I'm broken. Well, I'm just cold. I don't enjoy it.
But the snow has melted.
The snow has melted and now it's mushy.
No, it's gone.
No, but
it was mushy yesterday.
No, but it's it's slushy.
No, it's gone.
No, the ground is slushy. And
oh, it's muddy. Yeah, sorry.
Don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't want to annoy people that are. I was going to say south of the border. I don't mean south of the border because we're Yorkshire. And I don't want to annoy people in Lancashire, but I did see a really, really funny post on Facebook the other day that said it was like a dig at Lancashire because, you know, the War of the Roses, Yorkshire versus Lancashire. And actually, Manchester, we love you because you're our number one city. So we do love you, Manchester. Mm-hmm. But it was quite funny because it was like a Manchester ice cream and it was a Manchester slushy and it was just basically a whole pile of sludge in an ice cream cone because Manchester's very, very well known for being a rainy city.
I have been to Manchester 3 times in the last month and 4 times. 3 times it said it wasn't going to rain and it did anyways.
It always rains when you go to Manchester. And Scott will always tell me, my partner will always tell me, it's something to do with the something and it's open, it's on the something coast and the rain from the water from the something. And I go, it just rains. It just rains, mate. You don't need to know why.
It's not that deep.
It just rains.
Yeah.
It's like we always get the snow in Yorkshire. Everyone else will go, I wish it snowed. No, you don't wish it snows. You say you wish it snows until you get to the point where you're trying to dig a car out and you're late for a meeting in the school run. And
snow is lovely when you have nowhere to go and you can just watch Harry Potter all day.
Yes, and you're indoors with an open fire looking out. Snow is so beautiful. And where we live, obviously, in the middle of nowhere, it's glorious. It's glorious, it is, unless you have to be somewhere and then it's awful.
Wait, what county is Manchester in?
Lancashire.
Oh, is it?
So we're literally the War of the Roses because we're white rose and they're red rose. You can't say that. They're our number one.
I do like Manchester. Manchester actually is my favourite.
It is. You do actually.
I've always liked Manchester. I think it has such a good balance of everything. City life. City girl.
Yeah, me no. I'd actually quite like to live in my dream house is actually a castle in the middle of Scotland in nowhere near anything.
Why?
Because I just want peace and quiet.
Peace. Got one neighbour.
One neighbour too many.
They're lovely. They don't. I'm the loud neighbour in this.
You are. You're the problem. It's you.
It is me. They must hear me on the phone in the garden at night.
A bloody woman.
I'm Egyptian. What can I say?
People are now very confused. Because we're
known to be loud. Egyptians are loud.
Who's known to be loud?
Egyptians.
You are known to be loud, not us.
There's many listeners in Egypt and they would agree with me.
We are the problem.
Loud, we are charismatic, we are funny. It just describes me.
You are loud.
I've gotten so much better though.
You have, to be fair.
I used to be loud.
Yes.
But I'm
just
a lot more at peace.
Semi-loud. Semi-loud.
I think Rowan's the loud one when she's here.
You're all loud. I'm not. I'm chilled.
Mummy. Like,
I'm peaceful. Anyway, we digress. What is the question for today?
I picked this one for a specific reason.
Say that one with a lisp.
Specific reason, because fuck it,
Briella.
forget it. TMI. I am also on my period, so I just thought I'd pick a period.
Are we talking about periods?
Yes,
Jolly
we are
good.
talking
Lovely.
So this question is from Emily.
It's going to be a very long podcast. Go
Emily.
Hi, Emily.
In Ireland.
Hi, Emily in Ireland.
So she's 45.
Okay.
She says, my periods have been unpredictable over the last year, and it feels like my body just has a mind of its own.
Yeah. Standard.
Sometimes they're super heavy.
God bless.
And last for ages.
Yeah.
And other times I'll skip a month altogether.
Yeah.
It's not just the physical side that affects me, but the emotional roller coaster is just exhausting.
Yep.
And it's hard to plan my life in advance when I don't know when I'm supposed to expect
Surely.
my period. Is this normal during perimenopause?
Yes.
And if so, how can I manage these changes and not let them take over my life?
Okay. Yes, completely normal. Utterly normal.
So I want to know the answers.
You want to know the answers as well. Okay, so completely normal. As you go kind of mid perimenopause onwards and you're coming towards the menopause era, very, very normal. One of the main characteristics of kind of mid perimenopause onwards is the unpredictability of your periods. Not everybody, but the vast majority of women will find that their periods just become a bit wappy, shorter together, further apart, getting heavier, getting lighter. It's all very, very normal. That doesn't mean it's fun, but it's very, very normal. Some women find that their periods change in the same way every month, in that their periods are just getting lighter and lighter and lighter, or closer and closer and closer. And some women, like poor Emily here, just find that they're just going bonkers. So what's happening is that your hormones, you'll be obviously not shocked to hear, and we're talking about estrogen and progesterone. We're talking about these two.
I knew it.
Yes, your good old favourites.
But wait, sorry, before you carry on.
Yeah.
Isn't periods when you produce more testosterone when you're on your periods?
You don't get them confused. So
I am.
No, leave that alone. What we're talking about here is you're surging. Your estrogen and your progesterone are the ones that are responsible for releasing an egg, and then making sure that, and then if the egg isn't used, releasing the egg from isn't used. It doesn't.
You're right.
It's not needed this month, darling. And then preparing the lining of the womb for getting the egg ready, and then if it's not used, shedding the lining of the uterus, the womb, and releasing the egg so that it comes down and forms as a period, right? That's all well and good in a normal cycle when you're not in perimenopause and when you're not pregnant. That's how it would normally work. Now, the thing is that, as we've talked about lots of times on the podcast, your estrogen is going to fluctuate up and down through perimenopause and through your cycle, but your progesterone is also going down as well. So in any 1 month, your progesterone is the one that helps to release the egg and say, we're not needed. But if your progesterone is low if your estrogen is low that month, your progesterone might be trying to get rid of, like saying, oh, we're going to release the egg, but your estrogen hasn't actually released an egg to...
So they can vary month by month?
Yeah, which one's higher, which one's lower. And this is that herein lieth the problem. So in a normal cycle, they'd be in perfect balance and lovely harmony. So one produces the egg and the other gets rid of the egg, and all is well with this gorgeous, glorious flow of cycle. But suddenly you might have estrogen dominance, so you might end up with this really heavy period, and then other times you end up like you're seemingly so far apart because you're just not producing this egg. And then other times you're at this really, really heavy one, and it's just this roller coaster because you might have a surge of hormones, which gives you a heavy period and prolonged period. The next month you might not ovulate at all, and you're going to skip a period,
what?
You might not ovulate at all, and no egg might be released.
Wait,
hold the phone.
What does that mean?
What
so you
do
can
you
skip?
mean?
'Cause what? I've only ever in my life skipped one period. It just didn't happen.
Yes, so you didn't ovulate.
How?
How
does that work though?
So you didn't ovulate. So your estrogen levels dropped to the point where your you did not release an egg that month.
What happened then?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
That's crazy.
But this is the point of hormones. Your hormones, you have to have enough. So we're going to go way off track if we start talking about luteinizing and FS and follicle stimulating hormones and these things. But those are the hormones that tell your body to release an egg.
They tell them, okay.
Yeah, it's a whole messaging system.
We'll talk after.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I forget I can talk to you, not just on the podcast.
Yeah, you get access to me 24/7. So the point being that your body starts playing its own guessing game. So some might be heavy, some might be further apart, sometimes it skips altogether. That's its own story. But these hormones don't just affect your cycle. They affect your emotional ups and downs. And this is where the roller coaster can come in. 1 minute you're fine, and then seemingly the next minute you're on this roller coaster and you're in tears and it's exhausting. So I hear Emily, when Emily turns around and says, I can't plan my life around these changes, I hear you. I really hear you. It's like your body's got a mind of its own. So what we need to help Emily with, and so many of the listeners, is how do we find ways to help them get back some control?
And even like, how do they prepare in terms of like, you don't want to ruin your underwear. Do you know, like at my age, I can almost see what date I'm going to start. So I know to wear black. But...
Yeah. So there's different things you've got to do. So you've got to help yourself manage your cycle, and then you've got to help yourself manage practical elements of it. Okay, so when we look at managing the changes first, number one is start tracking your cycle. Okay, so because before it was tracking your cycle as in every 28 days I'm due for my period, you're not going to be doing that. You're going to be looking for patterns.
Yeah.
Okay, so the pattern may be no pattern, or the pattern may be they're getting further apart. But you will start seeing a pattern. So start by tracking your periods. You can use an app. You can use a journal.
There's a really good app. I've used this since I started. Clue.
Okay.
The best period app. And if you... This is like, sorry, shameless plug. I'm like plugging this app. But if you pay £7, it's £29 a year with the app. They also gives you like a analysis of like, just it predicts everything for you in advance, and it tells you why you missed it this then. It'll read all your patterns basically, but you can also get it for free.
Okay.
Clue. Best one. Fill in every time you're on your period, fill in the details. Amazing. And it will predict when your next period is based on all the information that you've put in.
Let's see if it's good for perimenopause women. See if it does it.
It does have an article about perimenopause.
There you go. So see what it does. Clue. Give it a go. Have a look at apps like Clue or a journal. Although it may not make your periods more predictable, it will help you notice the patterns or the triggers. So, for example, in perimenopause, stress plays a big role, because our bodies will always cortisol is a big issue in perimenopause. Stress is a big issue in perimenopause. It can go out of control.
Yeah.
Stress, cortisol is our stress hormone. It is produced in the same place as progesterone.
Okay.
Progesterone is the one that helps to release an egg, like to release the egg from the womb lining, and it's also the hormone that makes us feel calm and makes us feel relaxed, and is very important for us to feel less wired. But it's produced in the same place as from the same area as cortisol, which is our stress hormone. And there is something called adrenaline steal. Now, the problem is if our body is busy making cortisol, we can't make as much progesterone. So we end up in estrogen dominance. Very, very bad for us. So we might end up with way too much estrogen, or we might end up in a very weird kind of hormonal pattern because of stress. If you track things like stress or your diet. So I know that where I am in my menopause, because I'm 51 this year.
Well, you're 51.
2025. That I sugar plays havoc with my hormones. Always has, always will. It's getting worse. So eating too much sugar has an impact on my neuralgia, has an impact on my hormones, has an impact on my sleep. And it's a shame because I love sugar, I love chocolate.
You don't have periods anymore, do you?
I don't have periods, but it makes me feel hormonally off balance.
Yes, and it does with your neuralgia.
And it has an impact on my neuralgia, it has an impact on my sleep. So tracking those symptoms will give you an insight into what's going on. Also, it's worth thinking about supporting your hormones. So there's a way to support your hormones through things like balancing your blood sugar. So if you ate, and I hate doing this because I feel like a grim, person by doing it, but eating 30 grams of protein at every meal will help to balance your blood sugar. Okay. Eating 3 meals a day will help to balance your blood sugar. Staying away from refined sugars will help to...
Don't shoot the messenger.
I mean, I always thought, no. It actually is true.
I think that at my age, I think we're
and I just hated people that talked about it because I always used to think, well, it's all right for you and you're probably some like really healthy kind of yogi that hugs trees and eats nut butter and it blah blah whatever, and it's so true, and I really wish it wasn't. I really wish the answer was to eat donuts and eat chocolate and sleep in and watch Netflix. I wish that was the answer.
Burger a day.
Yeah, like why is the answer not eat burger and like drown yourself in crisps and
mommy.
Do you know what I mean though? That's never the answer, and it's just such a shame. Anyway, but if you eat protein and healthy fats and fibre and stay away from too much coffee, caffeine and sugar
and alcohol and
all the fun stuff. Yeah, all the fun stuff.
That was funny.
But it really will help you.
Yeah.
It will negate the ups and downs, the emotional ups and downs. We don't ever correlate it because we feel like, I don't know why I feel so emotionally unbalanced today. A lot of it, unfortunately, is because our blood sugar goes like spikes, then crashes, and it takes our emotions with it.
Does smoking?
No, smoking's a stimulant. It doesn't have the same impact unless you're trying to quit, and then you know how that feels, which you successfully did.
Full. Yes. Highly recommend to quit, but
don't
take a week off work.
Yeah,
you ain't going nowhere.
Come to my house and I'll help you through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, stress and diet are two things that they will have a massive impact on your hormones, how your hormones feel regulated, and taking care of them will help you on your hormonal journey to a huge extent.
Yeah.
And the hits just keep on coming because if you exercise, I'm sorry, just gentle movement though. I'm not talking about HIIT workouts. I'm talking about yoga because I know you
are
love
a big
that.
yoga.
I am a big yogi, but walking, yoga works wonders. It helps to regulate your hormones. It helps to manage your stress. It helps to improve your mood. If you every time that you wanted to like stick your head in a vat of chocolate, which is a feeling I get most days, you actually did 10 minutes of yoga, your life would change.
Can I ask you this? And
yes.
This is like it's weird to ask my mom. But they say like having sex is a good workout and stuff like that.
It's not that good a workout.
Oh, right, okay.
It depends how you're doing it.
I thought you lose a lot of calories.
You don't actually use that many unless you're like swinging from the rafters. To be fair, you use some.
So sex would not be a good exercise.
It's not good enough.
Right.
It's okay. It depends how vigorous you are and how many different positions you're getting yourself into. Just being honest. I mean,
I asked the question.
You asked the question. You get what you asked for. It's okay, but you're not being that sustained and that. Okay. It's probably better at your age than it is at ours. However, it's about the thing about yoga. Is it's intentional, it's mindful, you're in a different headspace, you're becoming that, it's the flow of yoga. I mean, I don't really want to embarrass you, but you can get into flow during sex if you're with the same partner and you both are in that comfortable, mindful state.
Facts.
No, you can.
I agree.
Genuinely. Yeah. But it's...
okay.
Yeah, you really have to just... If you were having sex every day, it would be enough to would it be considered exercise? Yes, it would. If you had at least 10 minutes of reasonable sex every day, would it be considered exercise? The thing is a woman in perimenopause like to have sex every day? Doubtful.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, because we're more likely to stab our husbands in the eye than have sex every day. Sorry.
Look forward to.
Something to look forward to. Yay, funsies. consider supplements, and I'm not going to go anywhere without talking about supplements because my life has changed.
As you should.
Magnesium,
Yeah,
vitamin B complex, massively important during this time. Those two together, magnesium complex, because it's going to help with muscle relaxation. So the magnesium complex that I always recommend is obviously our one, but because it's got magnesium, malate, taurate, and glycine in, and what those three are going to do is going to help you to relax your muscles, relax your anxiety, and help you to sleep. So those three are going to be really helpful. And a vitamin B complex as well is going to help you to balance your hormones. So those two supplements together I would highly recommend. Just to help you feel more balanced, and consider if HRT is the right fit for you. Because it can help you through this. Now, some women will say that because their hormones, because they're finding the period and the lack of predictability so difficult to tolerate, they might decide to go on the Mirena coil. Because what the Mirena coil will do is to release the steady flow of progesterone, so you will not have any periods. Some women are like, no, I don't like the idea of not having periods, and I feel that's not natural.
It's a 50, because I have that coil, and they told me you probably won't have periods, but I always still did.
I have the coil, and I don't have any periods.
So that just depends on the woman?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah. It's some women opt for that one.
And the doctors can't predict prior if you're going to have, but they did tell, because I've had 2 now. But you might not.
But you're estrogen dominant because you have endometriosis. Yeah. So you are already in a state of estrogen dominance. And don't forget, estrogen dominance means, so when you're taking not a normal person, I don't mean that in a disrespectful manner, but because you have a lot of estrogen, your progesterone, that they're giving you a low level of progesterone to balance out the estrogen. So that's why you still have your periods, to make from extreme estrogen to they're balancing it out. Somebody who has a regular amount of estrogen, it would be enough to make it more balanced. Does that make sense? So consider HRT if that's an option that she wants for Emily. And the other thing is to prioritise rest and self-care. It's not indulgent. It's vital. Really, really is. Meditation, warm baths, or even just saying no. No is a full sentence. And saying no to things that you don't want to do, that don't feel right to you right now, that don't serve you, that aren't essential. Anything that you feel is draining is non-essential. Highly recommend in perimenopause you learn to say no. It's just give yourself a treat. Like, this is the time where you learn to, as a treat to yourself, this would be the first time in your life that you learn to just go, no, doesn't serve me.
It's a good feeling.
Oh, it's the best. It's amazing. It's a blessing. And if you've never learned to do it before, this is the time you learn to do it. Okay, just absolutely learn to do it. Yep.
So what about practical stuff?
As in practical stuff, buy yourself some period knickers.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They are so comfortable. They are super duper comfortable. So obviously we have some in the Lifestyle brand. That was one of the most important things.
Honestly, not shameless plugging here. Worth the investment. Really, really, really worth it. You gave me one, and they are. And Booty always have like the softest things anyways, and they're
so comfy.
It really is an amazing option.
I mean, the thing
Any
is,
age if you have periods.
Well, here's the thing. I don't have periods and I still use them when I'm going to be out for the day. Why? Because way TMI.
That's okay.
But women, when you get even further through the perimenopause, sometimes you have a leaky bladder. So if I don't know where the loos are and because I'm at that age now where it's like if I'm like slightly late or I can't excuse myself and I'm going to run to the loo and I might just leak a little bit. Yeah. So period knickers means that I'm never embarrassed because if I leak a little bit, it doesn't matter. It just sneeze, laugh, cough, can't find the loo in time. None of it matters because the period knickers means it's all completely absorbed. They're so comfy as well. They're like, we do them different weights, so you can get heavy period knickers, medium period knickers. We do them in different sizes. I love the big granny ones. I'm not ashamed to say it. My name is Kate and I love big knickers. I do wear G-strings as well. I'm one of those either or. I'm like a big knicker or a G-string type of a girl.
Okay. I'm not, but yeah.
Do you like a G-string?
I think when I like get pregnant and that's all I'm going to wear.
Big knickers.
Period knickers, specifically.
Oh.
Because I can't, I sneeze and I leak and can't remember the last time I jumped, because every time I go on a trampoline, that was game over.
We need to talk about pelvic floor exercises at some point.
But like
Kegel exercises.
I'm the same every time. Like I sneeze when I'm on my period and I've got I'm fine. I'm fine. Like I'll soak up. I am good. It is okay. No shame.
Cool. No, but they are gorgeous, and because they're bamboo. Like I've got to the point now with the bamboo stuff, because I always bamboo pajamas.
I was going to say, and knickers, right?
And bamboo knickers. Yeah. That's all I wear. But I can't even be bothered to wear anything that's not, like I won't even wear a non-bamboo vest.
Yeah.
Like I've got some Marks and Spencer's cotton vests, and I put them on. And I'm like, ugh, it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, you gave me a lot of them.
Yeah, I gave you all my Marks and Spencer's vests, because it's just not doing
pajamas.
it. Yeah. I can't do it. I can't.
They're so chic.
Yeah, but just
no, like the bamboo stuff.
I just so love them.
Chic.
I love them. Jenna got some for Christmas. Oh, you all did? Yeah. Can't be bothered to know. Sorry, we've gone off on one. What were we saying? Yeah, so bamboo. Not bamboo, period knickers, really, really worth the investment. And it's just, you can get little, you can keep little pouches, and just, I have this thing with handbags. I love a good handbag, and I look after my handbags. Like I
have some older than me.
I do have handbags older than you, but I'll only buy a good one every 5-10 years, and I'll take beautiful care of them. But I have handbag savers in all of my handbags. And you can move them from bag to bag. So it's worth investing in like a handbag saver, where you just take the same handbag saver from bag to bag, and just have a little pouch with some goodies in, and have a little thing with your essential period things in, and just move it every day. Absolutely fine. But if you think you might be, this is where the tracking comes in. If you think you might be around or about, just period knickers are practically very, very good.
Question. Yes. Another one. This might also be a my age thing, but like we can kind of sense when we're going to become on our periods because the boobs.
Your boobs will hurt.
So is it not the same for women in
menopause? It is, but we can get sore boobs at other times as well, because sore boobs is a real estrogen thing. And because our estrogen is so fluctuating, we can get sore boobs without necessarily having a period. Cramps, maybe not so much, but it depends, because some women maybe have got fibromyalgia. We do get cysts as well in perimenopause. It's just a whole minefield.
So it's a little bit more difficult.
It's a little bit more to separate the issue. Okay. So, and I think practically, I think the mindset shift is something. I think you have to shift away from a loss of control to just a phase of transition. Just understand this is just a transition. It's not your body working against you. It's just your body transitioning to a new chapter. So you're not in a battle. Yeah. It's not a war. It's not you against your body. It's not us against, type of thing. And I know that sounds dramatic, but I remember feeling quite angry. Yeah. Like, what is it doing now type of thing. Trust me, on the other side is freedom. So you want to go through this if that makes sense. Like when you get to menopausal age, there is a lot of things that you get to do again. And I'm enjoying being 51. I'm enjoying my life. I get to have a lot of things back again. There is a lot of life I get to live now. So don't worry about the loss of things. Just see it as a passageway. Yeah. You're just going through this passage. You're going through this transition. It's just getting to the next chapter. Yeah. You're going down the hallway. That's all it is. And it's okay, honestly. When it comes to flexibility, just try and be a bit more flexible. Although it's unpredictable, just try and practice flexibility if that's okay. Leave some buffer room in your calendar. This is a good time not to pack things in too tightly. Because if you have a heavy period or a very emotional day, you're going to come a little bit of a cropper if things are packed in around there. So if you know that this might fall around a period day, or just in general, just don't expect too much of yourself. Give yourself some room to breathe. I think is what I'm trying to say, because it is a lot. Yeah. And so if your calendar's not full to the rafters right now, that would kind of be a good thing. Yeah. And the last kind of practical thing I think would be find support. and actively look for it. Lean on your friends, family, females. Come if you're. I mean, you're obviously in our. Was this in our perimenopause?
No, on WhatsApp.
On WhatsApp. But if you're not in our perimenopause support group, come hang out.
I think she is.
Okay.
I recognise the face.
Okay.
I think she is.
Okay. If you want to join our perimenopause membership, that's a great place as well. We've got lots of resources in there. It's good to talk to other women going through the same thing, because you're not going to be alone. And of course, we're always here for you in this space.
We got you.
We do, and I think it's just really important to know that although your body might make you feel like life's unproductible right now, you do have tools and resources that help you navigate this. Small steps. Find out what works for you. Try and take it lighter as much as you can. That's not gaslighting you at all. It's very unpredictable. It is challenging, but there are a few things that you can do, as I said, that help you. Yeah. As much as you can, try and help yourself with balancing things out. Try and make life easier where you can. And if you have any more questions, just reach out and ask us. That's what we're here for. And then if anybody here relates to Emily's story, I'm sure so many of you do, just please know you're not alone in this. We can always help as much as you can to help you navigate perimenopause with grace, resilience, and hopefully a little humour along the way, as always, whenever we can. And if you have any questions about perimenopause, do feel free to reach out by WhatsApp or in our group, and we will be here to answer your questions again next week. Take care, my darlings, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye. Thanks for joining us today on the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. We hope you found this episode helpful and inspiring.
Don't forget, if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, you can reach out through our perimenopause group or on WhatsApp.
For more information on my coaching, perimenopause supplements, books, or upcoming events, please visit www.kategrosvenor.com.
And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. It really helps us reach more listeners just like you.
Until next time, remember, perimenopause doesn't have to be complicated. We're here to help you every step of the way.
Stay uncomplicated.